Hi, welcome back to Mike's Diabetes World. Yes, I'm old. I need somebody to sometimes read what's on the screen here. Currently, I'm at 6. We had a break where the sensor wasn't doing what it needed to do. So I just got it going. It's showing that I'm on 6. I'm probably a little bit higher than that. Up here, I'm fully calibrated. This has a number 1 there. So if we touch number 1, it says 17 hours left on my sensor. I've had my meals, insulin, and you can find that out. This is just a wealth of information. Okay, time and range. Today is 5% above, 0% below. This here at 95% is looking pretty good. Blood sugars, they're okay. They're not really where I want to be, but they're okay. So, today, I want to discuss eating junk food. And we'll be right back. This channel is provided for informational purposes only. Contact your physician for any diagnostic or treatment plan. Years ago, and I'm talking in my lifetime, most families on the whole sat down and ate dinner out of a meal prepared. You know, house husbands were just something new at that point. It was usually, and I'm not being stereotypical or whatever, but usually was the wife cooked. Even if she worked all day, she still would prepare. I'm not saying it was correct, I'm just telling you our life has changed so much that we have now become fast food orientated. Pizzas, ribs, chicken. There was a place near my home where you could get chicken and ribs as a dinner with fries or something. I believe it was fries. It was good, but the sauce had sugar. It's very carb heavy. There's no real junk food that you can have that doesn't seem to be carrying a whole bunch of carbs. It's important that you watch the fast food you eat. Now, You go to the convenience store, you can get fast food. You go to the grocery store, you can get fast food. My favorite was always, you could get, at our grocery store, you could always get chicken legs, and they were hot. And it made a good dinner or even a snack. They didn't affect my blood sugar. But that's not real junk food. I'm talking like pizzas and lasagnas and Chinese food. I'm not talking Chinese food as Chinese food. I'm talking about it as the Canadian or American Chinese food, where a lot of the sauces are very sugary based. There's also a lot of hidden calories in a lot of these fast foods. Keeping your blood sugar in line is difficult because there's also hidden fats, and fat will slow down your digestion. For years, when I was working and I'd come home, I really didn't feel like cooking, as I'm sure a number of people who are busy working. But, I would order in a pizza or something else cheesy. And all through the night, I paid the price. And it wasn't until I got my first pump, second pump, that I learned, there's different waves of delivery you can set. You can set for square bolus, a mixture of both bolus, and it's where you could get part of your insulin dose right away and the rest of it over time. The nice thing about this new Medtronic pump, not sponsored, but delivers insulin and kind of corrects that. You could set your bolus up and deliver, but it will constantly correct. Before I would take insulin for the meal, go and lie down, it would deliver the insulin, and then later in the night, I'd wake up and I'd still be high and would have to take more insulin. The object is that you need to ensure that you are giving enough insulin over a period of time as you need it. Does no good later to give you insulin to treat. You got all this fat and carbohydrates in your system, but you really need to just be self-conscious of that. I would order Chinese food from a Chinese food restaurant, and there's nothing wrong with having these once in a while. But doing them all the time is not the best bet. Now, in Canada or in BC, we have a company, and I'm not sponsored by this company whatsoever, but they were called Better Meals, and they were just sort of the right portions. I'd have lunch and dinner from these companies, and they cooked like home-cooked meals. There was like chicken cacciatore. I always said kitchen, I don't know why. But all these foods, and it was healthy, low sodium. I had low sugar, and you got a soup, a meal, and dessert. It was sort of the same idea as Meals on Wheels, except they came once a week. You put them in your freezer and you ate them as you required. It worked for me. They were actually quite good. So, if you're able to have a program like that somewhere nearby, that could put a dent in the fast food. You know, you could get anything. Skip the Dishes or whatever have got a whole bunch of foods that you can get, all probably very high carb. You're taking a look at your starches and your carbohydrates, how much sugar are they actually putting in. But I would order from this Chinese restaurant meals for 5 people or something. And then I'd have one part of it each night. And sometimes it would be like I eat the whole tray or dish or whatever of sweet and sour pork. It was good, but I was just too lazy. I'd come home, heat it up, or sometimes I eat it cold. Depends on how bad of a day I had. But again, I don't know why I had problems with my blood sugars. Before coming here, I got into just having Chef Boyardee canned foods. They, again, have sugar in them and there's more carbohydrates. You have to be really careful. Now, a good idea is when you meal plan on days that you cook a little bit more, put some meal together, put it in your freezer, so that on days you come home and you are totally exhausted, there's something there for you to eat. Now, I'm just saying you should stay away from all these fast food diets. Like, you could have them once in a while, but don't sit there all the time just having fast food. You're gonna gain weight. You're gonna be lethargic from A, the fatty foods. B, you're gonna be lethargic because it's gonna affect your sugars. And our goal is to keep you in line. You can find out there healthier options of what to order. Now you can even get, what are they called? I can see them, but meal prep service, where you can get meals delivered and you can cook them within 30 minutes and you can have a full meal. Those are usually better. And you can be a little bit more picky on what you're having. Remember, it is important for your control that you watch what you eat. And fast food, while it's quick, it's easy, you always end up overeating. There's something about it. I mean, even a good burger place, you don't want to go there every single night. If you're going there every single night, you've got to come up with a better option. Junk food is not the answer. And I've said this before, and I'll say it again. is it's probably a good idea that you do the 80-20 rule. 80% of the time, you're eating home prepared meals, and the other 20 is you can have ordering Chinese or ordering a pizza. But don't make that your number one goal for meals. Now, if you are ordering and you take a look and you see, oh yes, that looks delicious, that looks huge, that's what I want. Maybe cut it back a bit. Instead of going for 2 patties, go for 1 patty. Fries are more carbs. People don't necessarily think of that. They think, oh, carbs. Yes, the buns, but they always seem to forget the French fries. Now, I don't know what they call it, but there is theories out there, and you can see YouTube videos on it. I do not condone this at all, and I'm sure your doctor wouldn't. But there are some people who say they order something and they put it in the refrigerator overnight, and supposedly the carbohydrates disappear. Well, that's kind of a big lie. They're not going to disappear. You need to watch what you eat, and just keeping in the refrigerator doesn't cut back the meals. Otherwise, you would be calling in to restaurants and saying, I'm going to be there tomorrow. Can you cook the food, put it in the freezer, or put it in the fridge, and we'll come in? It's not that easy. Ideally, keep your blood sugars under a tight leash. Don't always do the simple thing. You could have some cheese some night. That's probably an easier way than just over-gooey with cheese. I know it's a sensation that it all makes us feel good, but you're going to pay the price. And we want your blood sugars under the best control possible for you. So the 80-90 rule, so 80 to 90% time and range, the rest of the time you can splurge. So if you go out bowling with friends and they stop off somewhere for a quick bite, go ahead, you can do it. Just don't get in the habit of every single meal you're doing that. And with that, have a super day, and we'll talk again later. Bye now. My email is mikesdiabetesworld@gmail.com. mikesdiabetesworld@gmail.com.